Kids in general.
Kids in general.
Kids in general.
So if I posted something and I was like vaping with my kid, you have an obligation to like snitch on me.
100%. 100%.
Wow.
100%.
Trust
If it's
no
found
one.
out, right?
100%.
If it's found out that we are aware and did not report it, we then right.
100%.
So yeah,
100%.
That's crazy. That's
Well,
crazy.
interesting. It sucks to be teachers. It sounds like too.
It sucks to me.
Not one.
100%.
Anyway, let's just get the show started. What's up,
Yes.
everybody? And welcome to another episode of Truth on the Rocks.
hello.
Truth on the Rocks. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And please remember to like, share, follow us on all of our social media pages at Truth on the Rocks. And feel free to comment throughout the show because we are here. We are here. We're here for you.
We
to have
here.
a good time. Oh, yes, we are. And I am Maurice Griffin.
And I'm Nnemdia.
And I am the always smooth, always handsome Gerald Frank. What's going on?
Okay, I am Renata Del Carmen. So excited to be back. It's been 2 weeks.
Right.
It is now Valentine's weekend. Ooh la la. Super Bowl weekend. I have nothing for the players. The last time I talked about men in tights, I was rebuked. So
you, honey.
well, long story.
Oh,
It's a long story. This show is only but
That's
an hour.
fine.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Well, before we even get into all of that, what are you guys drinking? What are you having? I'm having a Froscato at the moment. My house is giving nitro heat. For those of you who don't know,
No, none at all.
that is New York City public housing heat.
The real heat.
Real heat.
Having Ciroc on the rocks. No nice heat. Literally paying for every cent I'm feeling.
This is some type of a pineapple mango vodka flavored vodka thing that I'm having.
It's about damn time.
You know what? I should be having tea, but I'll just, I'll save it for the iced tea.
I see.
Well, I must have took Gerald's place because this is what I'm having on the rocks tonight. Okay. It's just water, H2O. That's it.
Okay.
Because when summertime gets here, somebody is going to gag. When I walk outside, when people see this body, they're going to be gagging, or I'm going to look in the mirror and they're going to be gagging, and I'm going to be gagging at what I see. So
Okay.
But you know what? I will take a shot of this is some Dominican rum. So this is what it is right here. All at one time right now.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Mm.
Woo.
Mm.
Woo. This is why I got saved many years ago because
You just didn't stay safe.
And then after you use that up,
that's the problem. I got to stay safe.
You gotta stay safe.
Gotta stay saved. Speaking of save, who needs saving this weekend? Because I know the single people carry on Valentine's weekend.
yes.
Maurice and I happen to be the only single ones, and it doesn't sound like we need saving. You need saving this weekend? Oh, he speak for myself.
Yes,
I speak for myself.
No,
Honestly, truly, I give off like life is great, life is good, but I secretly want to be a kept woman who doesn't have to do anything but brunch and pamper myself and be chauffeured.
Housewife.
Yeah,
Hills.
perhaps not the pandemic Beverly Hills because they robbing people out there. I need the Beverly Hills, the old school money Beverly Hills. I don't want this new Beverly Hills where they running up in houses and robbing people. They can keep that. But seriously, we have so much happening. Valentine's Day, Super Bowl weekend. What are you guys doing?
I'm here for the Super Bowl. I'm just, Super Bowl weekend always brings a certain level of energy, certain level of hype. I'm not particularly going to choose a team per se. I just want to see good football. Just want to, just chill with good company and just have fun. It's more about the bonding than the game, right? It's like, you haven't seen the homies in a long time and, you guys are, chilling and just having fun and the game is on. It's just it's a time for hanging out with the homies. So that's what I'm gonna be into. That's what I have going on this weekend. Valentine's Day, still in the works. Still in the works.
That's great.
I'm disappointed.
Sure.
That's in the works. Valentine's Day.
I'm interested to know what Nnemdia got going on this weekend, though.
Well, I'm just mad that you still don't know what you're doing for Valentine's Day. I mean, if you're gonna celebrate it,
I'm freestyle. I go off the dome. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay, if that works, I will be checking in and see what actually happened. But usually I like to host. I'm thinking about hanging out with some other friends. I just don't feel like the planning, the letting people in, the smiling, and the cleaning up. So I probably will go hang with some other friends at their place and kindly say, "Can I help you with that?" No? Okay, thanks. And as far as Valentine's Day, yeah, no plans, and not because nothing is planned. It's just because to us, it's like kind of just another day. So, I mean, Maurice, we trying to find out who you're doing for Valentine's Day.
The question is, honey, how many am I doing for Valentine's Day?
Living your best life.
Yeah, come on now. No, I Valentine's Day, please. What is that? I don't have to be bothered with that day. Yeah. I'm showing self-love to myself every day, all year. So Valentine's Day is year-round for me. Now, regards to Super Bowl Sunday, what just happened?
What? We were just saying that just meant you ain't have a Valentine, but
I always change. On Valentine's Day talk about self-love, but that's good though. I'm with it. Self-love. Go ahead.
So if you don't have anything together by Valentine's Day, you better hope you're not by yourself next year. Valentine's Day.
We'll be self-loving on Monday night.
Right. And you're gonna be asking me about self-love next year. Get your wife a good gift. She's had enough. I heard from her last year, and she wasn't impressed with the gift you got her then. But anyway,
my wife is always impressed with the gifts that I get her.
Okay, about Super Bowl Sunday. I really can care less about football. The only thing I really care about is the halftime show with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, and the one and only Mary J. Blige. That is it. I'm just here for that.
I love it. I didn't even know she was going to be there, but now I'm really going to.
They've been promoting it for about 3 months. Where have you been?
Yeah, I'm not paying attention, God. I've been living my best kept wife life. Okay, that's what I've been doing.
With your refrigerator in your bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. And a microwave too.
Joe, she got
a microwave. Oh my God.
Joe, she got it all.
She got it all. But listen, so we're gonna get into our iced tea topic, and I'm gonna set the mood of what we're gonna talk about. I told you.
No wonder it was taking him so long to log in. He was out there getting 12 dozen roses.
He was growing at this last week.
So listen,
Renata, he did not buy 12 dozens. He's too cheap. He just got that one single rose.
You know what? I got my rose ready. We're gonna talk about love. The iced tea topic is about love, and I'm gonna get my voice. I'm gonna get my bass voice on right now.
Okay.
So love is what I like about love. What I love about love is that love is revolutionary. Yeah. It's a term that started off one way, and then as we evolved as human beings, the word love evolved as well. The way that we show love and the way that we receive love has also evolved. And then for Valentine's Day, there's a lot of people that are going to be alone, experiencing and practicing self-love, like Maurice here. Mm-hmm. Some people are going to be with significant others. And then there's going to be a select few individuals who may be in some trouble because they got to split themselves in two.
Okay.
Right? They got to split themselves in two. Not me, but they got to split themselves in two.
Thank you for clarifying.
I always feel for those guys because all females, right? Because they got to be creative as far as who they spend time with first. Maybe spend time with some people in the beginning, and then late at night they spend time with somebody else. So the question for the iced tea topic is
setup.
Do you think that you can be in love with two people at the same time?
Oh, goodness.
Do you think it's possible to be in love with two people at the same time?
Let me just say this. It is clear why Gerald is booked and busy because he comes with it every time.
What
Look,
is
a
happening?
whole
Turn his camera off.
production.
I'm,
Woo, child.
I'm confused about what he's doing on with this flower over here. Oh,
What? I'm setting the mood. It's love season.
I hope that's not what you're doing for Valentine's Day.
You know what? You all just want to take away my mood, but answer the question. Can you be in love with two people at the same time? Answer the question. We'll start with Ren.
Ren. Answer the question, Ren. Damn it. Ren, you're on mute.
Sorry.
Wow, this is bringing this. You see this ice? You see that's why I picked this ice tea. Everybody is gagging right now.
Wait.
Answer. People don't want to know. Listen. Can you be in love with two people at the same time?
God.
Nnemdia is I can't.
One person, two people.
Here are my thoughts. Honest thoughts. The answer is yes. And I say yes because love is a choice, right? You choose to love people and you can choose to love two people. I think that when we think about what true love actually is, it's okay to love more than one person. However, what actions you take because of that love that you have for two people, that's a different story. But yes, you can love two people.
I agree with that. I feel like I have love for my friends, right? I have so many friends, but I love them all, and I love them all for different reasons because they bring something different to the table. And so I think the same applies to a romantic love, whether you're in a relationship or not, that each individual brings something different to the table that you can love, and that may bring something else out of you. So I do think you can. However, I have questions, right? When you started loving the other person, were you in a relationship? Because that's where, for me, the problem starts. If it wasn't something that was like agreed upon from the beginning, if you're with someone and you start to love someone, that means you have opened yourself up and made yourself susceptible to something that you probably should not have. That's where things that people think are so minor and small when you're in relationships, such as flirting or entertaining or just having certain types of conversations with people, it can open the door to something that you may not be able to maintain, because love is a beautiful thing until it's misused. That's how I feel about it.
But sometimes I feel that love shouldn't be contained. Why should a relationship contain the vast element of what love really is?
Can you please stop sniffing this rose? It's making me uncomfortable. I've had enough of seeing those two big nostrils in front of the camera.
Listen, Mr. Self-Love. Right? Let me set the mood and the tone for this iced tea topic, please.
He said he hated.
Well, let me say this question. I have to bring it directly to me. Can Maurice Griffin love two people at the same time equally?
Okay.
Now, the real answer for me is no, I cannot. Right? So let's say I'm in a relationship with person one and person two come along and it looks wonderful, whatever they bring to the table. I think the only reason it looks wonderful is because I'm clearly missing something in the relationship I have with person number one. So am I really in love with what I'm not getting in my official relationship, or am I just in love with what that person is bringing? Like, so if I need money, or if I need good looks, if I need more attention, if I need whatever else, like, am I just in love with what I'm missing, or am I falling in love with that person? So I actually don't. For me, y'all could do whatever y'all want to do over there in your own individual boxes. I'm just talking about, for me, I don't think I can personally, love two people equally. But anyway, I did some research, and according to Kelly Miller, a psychotherapist and author who specializes, honey, yes, Nnemdia, I did my research.
Okay.
Since in individual and couples relationships, she said, while many people revel in the idea of single soulmate, it's possible to feel love for two people at the same time. If you find you're in love with two people, evaluate your feelings, think about your love for each person, your personal feelings regarding monogamy, the different needs each person is meeting, and question if you're committed or if you're committing emotional infidelity. So, although I don't think I can love two people equally at the same time, fairly honestly, you have a psychotherapist who disagrees with me. And
a psychotherapist and potentially Nick Cannon, because baby, he loves a lot of people.
His dick loves a lot of people.
So let's talk about, in monogamy, you mentioned monogamy, and monogamy has come up in a lot of conversations regarding love and regarding relationships. Some people think that monogamy was an imposed value on Western culture, right? Do we feel that monogamy is something that you personally chose, or do you feel like you're doing it because that's what you were told, or that's what you were taught that you need to do? If there was no barriers to relationships, if there was nothing called, if no one somewhere back in the day, whenever it was, coined the term monogamy, do you think that you would be monogamous?
That's a very
well, I read somewhere that monogamy, the origin of it is it came about like 10,000 years ago. So prior to that, you had men that were sleeping with different women and, being very polygamous. I didn't say that right.
I'm sorry?
Polygamous?
Yes, that's exactly it right there. I didn't say that. I didn't say that one right. You kids, you guys got the gloves on tonight.
It's all right. Usually it's you. You'll be fine.
Well, anyway, but basically they were saying monogamy unions, I guess, came about in regards to like out of necessity, like agricultural, like the need to maintain land and property. So that was kind of like how it came about.
Is it even natural? Is monogamy even a human natural thing?
So let me say this. So I think it depends on how you're taught, but if you go back to when God created Adam and Eve, right? They only talk about him creating those two to fulfill each other's needs. And for me, he gave Adam mad shit to do all day so he wouldn't be distracted by the other bitches. That's how I feel about it. So I feel like from the beginning, there was no such thing as I need to have more than one person. There's one person that I love because we all love to love. And then I busy myself with all the other things that make me feel fulfilled and validated by, taking care of what I need to take care of. So I think that if you go according to religion, then yeah, monogamy was good from the beginning. It somehow may have gotten twisted, or, how people like to copy and paste and customize their lifestyle. And then you start saying, well, monogamy makes me feel held down. And because love is a big thing, like you said, Gerald, and a lot of people use it as a tool. And because we have kind of conditioned to believe that we were created to love the one. There's this thing that comes with the one. I want to find the one. Nobody ever says I want to find the two, right? Or the three. They're looking for the one. So when you find the one, we kind of don't understand, if you have the one, then what you need with the two, the three, the four, the five, and the six, right?
Well, because they each bring something different to the table, as you stated. right? And on the religion talk, you know, some people would say that the Bible was something that the white man brought to Africa to enslave the black people and bring them back over to America. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, a whole other
topic. Ren.
I'm sitting here like I need to read Genesis again because I was under the impression that God created Eve so Adam wasn't trying to procreate with the animals. But
not the animals.
Right. Well, he need to help me. Come on now, get into your word.
You need to help me.
Ren, are you naturally monogamous? Do you think that monogamy is something that you can perform naturally without any external influences?
Absolutely. And the reason why is because I have a hard time splitting my energy with multiple people. So like, I know people say like, you should date multiple people at a time and eventually make a decision on who is the person, right? And when I've done that,
do we have another co-host?
It sounds like Dior was trying to call me out. That's what it sounds like. Okay, I feel attacked.
I love it.
We have another co-host. Animals were on this panel.
I feel attacked. Dior was like,
He was like, Bologna.
You're making me cry here tonight. I love it. Oh my God.
So, but here's the thing, like, I don't like dealing with multiple people in that way because people are crazy. I'm gonna just say that. People are crazy. Like, it just takes a lot to manage other people's emotions and activity around me, and I don't have the energy for that. So I like to deal with one person at a time. But some people are a little bit more crazy than others, and like this pandemic crazy is a different level of crazy that I'm not going to engage in.
Crazy with no boundaries. The pandemic.
Yeah, like people are not thinking straight, and I'm just not here for it. Like I think that for men, it's easier for them to be polygamous than it is for women because men kind of like a bit more. Well, women are territorial too. So I don't have the personality to spread myself amongst multiple men and not end up catching a case.
Well, interestingly, more women are being polygamous now based on studies than ever before in the history of mankind. I think that women are now really understanding that they have the power to choose more than one if they want to. So it's not polygamy is not a masculine male thing anymore, but it's more a matter of choice. Like if they feel like they want to date a couple people at the same time and be upfront about it, then they can do that. And I think that that's the issue. The issue is the fact that people are not being upfront, right, and honest with their position on love. You know, they're not saying, listen, I'm someone who would like to date other people at the same time, right? That kind of changes the dynamic as well.
I watched, I like to watch polygamy reality shows. And
why do you think that is? I'm sorry. Why do you think that is?
You in a full then get your couch.
I watch a lot of reality. I'm like the reality show queen. I watch a lot of reality shows.
We have entered.
I will tell you anything.
We have entered Gerald's office.
That's right. It's sessions for everybody.
We're on his couch. And what I found, which was a common theme, is so when you mentioned how people are upfront with it and, you know, wanting to be with other people, these people have chosen polygamy, but I found that it doesn't exempt them from being territorial, dealing with jealousy, feeling like one mate is getting more of the individual than the other. And I think that's people think they're solving the monogamy issue with polygamy, but the problem is not either or. It is what is happening internally with each of us as individuals. And like you said, we were conditioned to believe that this sort of, it's the one, you get the one, or in polygamy, you get the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the jealousy and all that stuff comes from feeling territorial when it comes to the person that we decide to love. And that's when it becomes smothering and limiting, and where love is this big thing that can be explored on so many levels. Our ego gets in the way of allowing us to be able to really maximize on what love can actually be like. But I get it, because I'm sorry.
Okay, well, she's
In the chat just sent me. But oh my God. I just feel like I can't even gather my point. That shit was so funny. But so I just feel like our ego, our pride, our insecurities, our not being taught from childhood, that damn, it's so hard, because I feel like we're born as children, we're born like selfish. A kid can totally have a bunch of toys and never play with them, but if another kid comes in and touches the toy, the kid their reaction is automatically to take it. Nobody taught them that. Who taught them that? So are we born this way? Are we born with the desire to only have what's ours and it only be ours, and to not share? It's something, it's really deeper, I feel. But trying to fix monogamy with polygamy, I don't feel like that works. I think you really have to have a deep understanding. And when people try to act like they're so secure that their mate can sleep with anybody, then deem me insecure like a motherfucker, because I ain't there yet.
You see, you gotta work on that jealousy, Nnemdia. You gotta work.
It's not even jealousy. It's more egotistical for me. I operate from a male perspective, right? I'm not thinking like, oh, she's better than me. That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like a man. Like you said before, when we had that first show, that men drive off a competition. It's like there's competition. So it's ego for me. That's what it is for me. So it's like, oh, okay, so you're gonna do that, so then I could do it too. That's how it is for me. It's less about the insecurity for me.
But would that invigorate you in a relationship?
Possibly. But my experience has not been an honest exchange of, hey, this is what I want. Is this something you would be open to? I've never been approached like that. I've always been approached by being blindsided and being cheated on. So I don't have a good rapport with another female being in the picture. And I feel like I was pretty open, like growing up. So if it was done the right way, I probably would be more open to it. But now I have to kind of, grow from that experience. Like, okay, I'm not at war. We can probably really build in this. I'm not cutting it off and saying it's a no, complete no for me. It's just not where I am right now. And the conversation has never been had.
Right. So that means you've never been in a polygamous relationship. You've just been cheated on.
Right.
Because people who are in a polygamous relationship, it's established from the beginning. You have the boundaries that are established from the beginning. You know exactly what you're getting into. You know what to expect. How many more people can be in a relationship? Is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 3? Like, those are the type of limits and the boundaries that are set. So, I believe people who practice that, they understand and they know what they're getting into. So they have that advantage from the beginning, and they don't have to worry about, hopefully there's a less likely chance of being hurt down the road, because you just know what's going to expect, and people who are basically like in favor of like practicing polygamy, they say like, it's basically you have more variety of like more sexual variety, you have greater companionship, higher income. So people have their reasons on why they want to be with more than one person, but it's just up to the individual. And again, just like every relationship is unique. In my opinion, every relationship is unique and depends on the individuals who are in the relationship. So the same thing when it comes to that, when you're practicing that, what are the boundaries? What's going to work for us? Can you sleep with men? Can you sleep with women? Are you able to, like, you got a hoe in every zip code? Like, what is it? Like, what do we have to step? I think it just always goes back to communication and creating boundaries. Like, at the end of the day, whatever relationship you have, with anyone, whether it's platonic or romantic, you have to set those boundaries and you have to be able to communicate with each other.
Yes.
That's just, in my opinion, that's just what it just comes back down to.
For sure.
Y'all think Nick Cannon got all his baby mamas in a group chat? One
chat? Do you want to be Nick Cannon's next baby mother?
I'm willing. I'm willing. Listen, if you ask me that, if you would have asked me that question when I was 25, I might have been like, oh hell no. Now I'm like, I'm willing. He only gonna come around once or twice a week. How many times a week? I'm gonna have to not work. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have a chauffeur and a nanny. Oh, okay. And my bank account is overflowing. Oh, okay.
The thing.
I love this.
This
is great. This is great. This is
honest.
Lie. This is what Truth and Rocks is about.
Right.
I've also seen Nick Cannon in person, and he's fine.
Oh, he is. I've seen him in person too. He is fine. TV doesn't do him justice.
I don't think so. I don't think
he doesn't do him justice. He's good looking in person.
Okay. All right. Well, since we telling all the truths here about if we would be Nick Cannon's baby mama and being cheated on, let's go on to our favorite part of the show, which was, of course, curated by Sir Gerald over here. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. All right.
So help me God.
So help me God. All right. I'm going to say it. So this is the part where I will ask the panel a question. Everyone must answer. Keep it real with the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
That's right.
All right. So my question is, have you ever been the side piece and do you regret it? So it was a two-part question. Maurice, since we know Valentine's Day, we're trying to see who are you doing?
Mr. Self-Love.
Mr. Self-Love.
Well, yes, I do believe in self-love. Have I ever been the side piece before?
Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I think I'm gonna say no, but I definitely have tried to be several times. I slid in a ton of DMs, knew they were in relationships, and I was definitely just trying to get myself in there. But they wanted to stay faithful, at least with me. But no. Seriously, no. What that is, I am serious with that. But one time I feel like someone tried to make me their side piece, and he was much older than me, married, and I was just kind of like, yo, I'm really not with it. And at that time I was going to clubs and bars and stuff a lot, and he would get jealous because I was hanging out. And I was like, how could you be jealous that me, this single young man, is going out when you are at home laying next to your wife every night? What is it to be jealous about? So I felt like he was trying to make me that, but it didn't happen. And I think it was more about him controlling me than anything. And
because I was going to ask what's the difference. I was going to ask what's the difference between you pursuing people trying to become the side piece and someone actually pursuing you and trying to make you the side piece. So
I'm sure I was drunk most of the time that I slid in those DMs.
Okay. Ren, we girls get a bad rep, honey. What a guan.
So I would just like to say there have been so many times where I have either heard from men or other women about women being upset with me because they think I either want their husband, am involved with their husband somehow, like certain men that I've had as friends that don't speak to me because they've had arguments with their wife, and I've slept or had involvement with none of them.
Wow.
None of them.
But why did your name come up? I'm curious.
I don't know.
Because I don't think. Well, some women just make stuff up. They do. But that depends on.
But I take that as women know the man that they're with, and they know what they're attracted to, and if the man presents or shows up in a certain way around me, they already know, right? Like
they already know what?
They already know that he's either attracted or something, and it becomes their insecurity, right?
Okay, got you.
To answer your question, it is a yes, unbeknownst to me, right? So like here I am thinking like it's one thing, and come to find out it's a whole other thing. Not my choice, right? And the reason why this becomes tricky is because there are times where I stayed or knowing, right? Like there was another situation happening because I was so deep in and it was very difficult to break away, right? But I feel like that's more like being cheated on. But once you find out, right, like you make the choice. And I found out didn't make the best choice at the time, but sadly, yes.
So you didn't regret it either?
Not that relationship, no.
Okay. The truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Gerald, you ever been a side sushi?
You know,
you've been married for 75 years, but
right. This is pre-marriage. This is pre-marriage.
Okay.
Pre-marriage.
Make it plain.
Make it plain, right?
And keep home happy.
That's right. I gotta go sleep.
Right, you gotta log off and go
in my bed, not anywhere else. But yes, I have been a side piece before, and to be totally honest, it was probably the best pre-marital relationship that I've ever had. The reason why it was the best was because of the honesty that came with it. The woman, she was older, and not, honestly, I think that women do a better job at this than men, right? Because women, it's kind of like they don't care about losing, right? It's like this is what it is. And the woman, she was a little bit older than I was, and she said, "Listen, this is exactly what it is, right? I find you extremely attractive," and she was right. She said to me, you know, I find you attractive, and you know, I want to let you know that I have someone. I have someone, and this is what he does. And you know,
automatically telling too much.
Right. I mean, she wanted to lay it out. It's almost like she had this plan. It was like she had it planned, and she just needed the right person to come along for her to present this, you know, this contract.
Right.
You know, and she let me know what it was, and it was extremely honest. Interestingly enough, the relationship was more emotional than anything else. Like she wanted someone to listen to her. She wanted someone to pay attention to her. She wanted someone to talk to, be a shoulder to, you know, to cry on, to lay on. And my shoulder at that time was very much vacant for her to lay on. And she laid on my shoulder, and she lay on
a whole bunch of other
things as well. So what I honored about that relationship was the honesty that came with it. And I think that, you know, we men, we do a horrible job at it because we don't like losing, you know, so we make up stuff, and we, you know, we lie, things like that. But, you know, it was a really good relationship.
Well, that's refreshing.
Yeah.
To answer the question, do I have to answer this question?
Yes, you do.
Oh my God, hold on.
No, get that other cup with the liquor.
Definitely happened, and I feel like I knew how to play my position. I felt like I was skilled at it. And like Gerald had with one of the individuals that he mentioned, it was so much honesty that if it's crazy, because if people who are in relationships can have that honesty, relationships would be so much better. But there's so much you know, not telling the truth because you don't want to hurt the person, or you feel like it's not going to be effective in the relationship. So you don't. But that honesty, and it's for what honesty is worth, right? Because you're not really being an honest individual if one person is being lied to and you're telling this person the truth. I think honesty is an integral thing, right? But just to say what we're saying, it was honest. And it was the best situation I ever had in my life. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. But when I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, it was because my moral value started to increase. I started to think about what I was doing. And there's nothing that sends a reminder to you like when you get cheated on. And it's like, fuck, karma. Karma.
Yeah.
Like that will humble you immediately. Like, oh my God, this is what it felt like when the other person probably found out about me, etc. So for the time that I was in it, I have no regrets, right? I feel like it was an experience that I needed to have. And then when I decided to change that about myself, it was an actual choice. And I became more integral about how I operated, how I functioned. And it took a long time, but that's where I am now. Happily married. And praying.
Great.
Ashes to ashes and dust to side chicks.
Yeah, you got to play a position. At the end of the day, you have to play a position. Once the position is set for you, you run the route. You run the route, you play the position, and everything will be fine. People don't like playing positions.
Oh my God, let's not promote it.
Love is big. It's big.
Love is big.
Does your wife,
mate? Okay.
Does your wife share the same perspective as you, Gerald?
What perspective is that? That love is big?
The one you advocating for right now. That perspective.
You know.
Just curious. Don't have to answer. You can tell me my business.
This Rose is just...
Listen, you gotta go to sleep tonight.
In the bed.
Do your due diligence.
In the bed. But I'm thinking if you gotta choose that, if you're choosing that, play a position. Play a position.
And don't be a headache.
No, play a position. If you can't call after a certain time, don't call after a certain time. Valentine's Day, you may not be seen on the 14th.
I can't be.
You may be seen on the 15th. You may be seen on the 13th. You may be seen on the 12th. Play position.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? The side chick that's seen on the 14th and the main chick that's seen on the 12th or the 15th.
Or vice versa. You mean the side chick on the 12th, the main chick on the 13th?
No, there are men out here. He's saying play your position to the person that is the side piece. But there are people who don't even know how to facilitate that. And the main piece ends up being the person they see on the 15th instead of the 14th because they with the side piece on the 14th.
Yeah. Their priorities are just confused.
So side pieces play your position, but like the facilitator learn the game.
No, it's the side piece's job to make sure the facilitator is doing his job. Make sure he's taking care of his home.
The person that you see on the 14th, right? The person you see on the 14th is the person who brings the vibe of what love really represents. So it may be it doesn't mean that the main has to be seen on the 14th.
You see what I just told you? Okay.
Is the person, because remember, you said it earlier, Ren. You said love is a choice. That's what you said. So you got the facilitator is going to choose who he wants to see on the 14th. There's no rule book that says that the main piece has to be seen on the 14th. It's the person who they choose to see on the 14th, and it's usually the person that brings the energy that's needed for the 14th energy. That's what they see.
Wow, I'm just glad I was always home on the 14th with my person.
My person is always seen on the 14th.
God damn.
My wife is always seen on the 14th. Every 14th.
You just want to clear that up, right?
You
want to clear that up.
Every single 14th.
Your wife better be
and the
seen
15th.
365 days.
Of course.
Of course he would say, of course. What else are you going to say?
Well, Truth on the Rocks. So with that said,
I can't take y'all.
With that said, let us raise our glasses.
Oh, what a day.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Truth on the Rocks. This was icy. I love this.
Yes, this is great.
Please be sure to follow, like, share our social media pages. We'll be back with another episode on Sunday, February 27th at 6 p.m. So raise our glasses and listen, if the truth gets too difficult, if the 14th gets too difficult, if the 15th gets too difficult, just have it on the rocks.
Have it on the rocks, man. Yeah, baby.
Have it on the rock.